Hey, you've probably heard the term Isekai, when the main character gets reincarnated, reborn, or summoned to another world of sword and magic, and then he's surrounded by countless beautiful waifus, and also being the strongest with cheat-like abilities in that fantasy world. Well, I like consuming these shit stories, and instead of talking about the popular ones, why not to look for those that no one really knows about? And so, here's episode 2 of me going through garbage. Okay, so first I have Reincarnated as the mastermind of the story. I'm quite surprised. At first I was making jokes about it to be Mushoku Tensei, but shit with how it started. I mean, not many isekais starts with the main character getting literally born, after some time accepting the reality and with that learning about the world, about the powers, and using his powers and pushing himself to the absolute limit until fainting. Yes, that is how Mushoku Tensei started, but I was so wrong about this one. Not only the art looks really good, but also the story. Even as it doesn't seem at first glance, it is not that predictable and quite surprising. Yes, the main character is way stronger than other characters already introduced so far, but it's just because they didn't focus that much on early years. But he can be strong as he wants, but he's not even close to his peak. And the manga is doing a good job of showing this to us, that he's still a kid learning all things. One other thing that should be mentioned is that there is no fucking harem already being established in the first chapter. Actually, there is no harem at all. There is at the moment only one character that is potential love interest, but even so, the love is not forced and the development between the two characters actually takes time. The recent chapters are getting a little bit clichés and predictable, but it is only 11 chapters at the moment, so I'm not gonna jump to conclusion yet. Really nice art, no harem, no shitty isekai clichés, politics. 7 out of 10. Next on the list is Different World. Slow life began at the smith. Man who is slaved by a company with no life and family gets struck when saving a cat. It turns out that the cat is actually a watchdog who wandered from world to world and making sure that they don't negatively affect one another. But it wasn't careful, and because of her, this guy gets killed. Something that wasn't meant to happen. And so, as a compensation, he gets sent to a different world with cheat skills, and he can decide how he wants to live there. Because he likes crafting things, but never gets the chance to experience that, he gets the ability of blacksmithing, and also wishes for slow life with cats. I was really skeptical about this isekai, given the fact that in the first chapter we already acquired one waifu, but as the chapters progressed, the more I started to like the story of a man who is just doing his things, caring for his family and just living his slow life. Someone who didn't even had a relationship in another world, he now has someone he cares about and can call them family. A dwarf, Rike, a noble Diana, and beast woman aka the best girl, Samia. There is really nothing much to say, and that is good. There is no necessary comedy added, or extremely powerful Kirito wannabe as a main character, or the stupid harem. Yes, he has some waifu material in his possession, and it is definitely harem that is expanding, but they are more treated as family members and friends in his slow life than being a harem. And I just had really good time reading it. Slow life, best girl, relaxing story, 8 out of 10.
Today's subject is slavery.
So, this is isekai. I'm not sure how much I can actually show, even though it's not a hentai. There is just so much to see, like a lot. For example, this is a cover for second volume. I think you can understand what I mean. But not only this is an isekai, but also 1v1 tournaments, slavery, forced breed, gender changed, mentioned futanari. This really sounds more like a fucking hentai text. I can't. Most average boy, like default settings, one day gets summoned into another world where he is supposed to be blessed with skills. But it turns out he has obtained no initial skills and his blessing skills is copy. If you are a gamer, and don't worry, that is not an insult, you know that having copy skill is actually kinda rare and really good. But in this world, it is the most useless thing. It is rare, but in a different way. So the main character was taken to the Coliseum as a slave. Now, how does the Coliseum works and where is the breeding? That's the fun part. The Coliseum exists for the sole purpose of show and entertainment for the rich to satisfy themselves. And this show is in the concept of tournament, where the loser becomes a slave of the winner and will be bred by them. And if you think you are safe just because you are a man, so the only punishment is being fucked by another man, you are wrong. Because you are gonna be turned into a woman, and penis is gonna grow on the woman's body. Yes, as the main character got his skills, so do other people. And in this world exists a person that has the skill to change gender, and also there is someone that has the skill to grow a penis on a woman. This is not a fucking hentai, I don't understand. Great art, enjoyable plot, fake Sora, gender change, hentai. 8 out of 10. Isekai Pornstar. I am starting to question the definition of hentai. If the Reincarnation Coliseum wasn't a hentai, then this definitely must be, and it's not. I'm actually starting to understand that if it's a hentai, it means that you can see woman's pussy, but this has nothing to do with the manga. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, we are witnessing peak. Kagurabachi does not compete in the slightest. So what is this peak about? It is very easy. There's a main character that was in the JAV film industry, but he just always coomed too fast. So even after working there for a year, he never really got far. But one day he was tracked into another world right in the middle of JV shooting. He then becomes part of that one shoot, and after the best performance the actress ever had, he just continues to work for them. Yes, somehow in this fantasy world, full of different creatures, exists the distribution of porn. Don't question it, just go with it. So yeah, because the world is so behind with the knowledge of good porn, the main character is just now literally shifting the whole industry with his knowledge that is frighteningly vast and very detailed. This manga just not only made me question my own existence, but also whoever fucking made this manga, and especially the translation, was cooking the best meal in the universe. This one chapter about giant woman was the peak of dialogues. The main character traveled with orc, don't question it, to meet with giant woman, but then suddenly the orc bumped into something, thinking that it is dead end. But he gets launched into space, and we will find out that it was the giant woman. But what was the thing that he bumped into? No. Nani? This is so shit. What the f- How dare he page the woman's nether region? Who the fuck calls that nether region? Bro, the translator's paper when writing this was on fucking fire. Woman's nether region. I'm fucking dying. Okay, this is peak. This is absolute peak. Oh my god. This is fucking peak. You get amazing story, beautiful waifus, boner, good time and comedy. Absolute isekai peak. Also, what makes this manga even better is that there's so many references. I mean, look at this. Yes, in this manga, Attack on Titan is officially canon. I had absolutely blast when reading this, and I would never have guessed that this is gonna be such a good read. Fun story, go-to dialogues, boner, best plot. 9 out of 10. I'm the hero, but the demon lord's also me. Again, why are there so many naked characters in these unknown isekais that are not hentai? I don't understand. So, the main character gets truck-kunned when saving a cat. That's something I've never seen before. But, joke's on you, he didn't get truck-kunned at all. But for some reason at that moment his inner powers awoken, and now the important characters from the other world are coming to his world, trying to convert him to their world as the hero who will save them. But also at the same time they learn that he is not just the hero but also the demon lord as well. And when he refuses their offer to coming to their world as neither, they just started living with him. And with every new chapter there is a new character introduced and added to the harem. I could go a little bit deeper in the explanation of the story, but fuck you, I'm not paid enough for that. This manga is hella self-conscious about the isekai cliches, and it's even sometimes breaking the fourth wall. By the way, little fun fact, the artist's name is Tatsuya Endo, and I just found this really funny because if you didn't live under the rock for the past year, you must have seen this name already. And if not, you have at least seen or read Spy Family. And the author's name is as well Tatsuya Endo. But they are totally different people with the same exact name, where one was assistant for Fire Punch and Hell's Paradise and now is working on his own popular manga, and the other made the most self-ever isekai ever. Or are they different? So yeah, the manga is fun if you are like 14, it may be good if you are just stupid, but you see nipples, so 10 out of 10. Next is the EXO-DRIVE Reincarnation Games, All Japan Isekai Battle Tournament. What is wrong with isekai titles? Just call it fucking 1v1 isekai. Anyway, normal world where people realize that parallel worlds are linked to theirs. However, all the other worlds were in complete ruins on the brink of collapse. And so the humanity thought of an idea. Create a device that is gonna be able to reincarnate people in those worlds. Take the place of a hero and help the world to its full glory. And then make a tournament out of it. Those players can create their own deck with various skills, then getting isekai by Truck-kun. Finally an isekai with a Truck-kun. He was on a really long vacation, because I haven't seen him for a while now. Then getting points and competing against other players. Not gonna lie, the premise and the idea is amazing, okay? But imagine every isekai cliche being camouflaged in skills and used as powers. The execution of this idea just wasn't there. It got pretty boring and kinda shit. And also it ended with cliffhanger, and the ending is just not even finished. It's just open end. And this will never get sequel, so so fuck you, I guess. Oh, also, fun fact, this manga is done by the author who is now the artist for the Reincarnation Coliseum. How the fuck did this happen? Strong idea, great art, somehow. Main character is just built different. Track-kun. 4 out of 10. Okay, so this one is called Reborn as a Feudal Lord Gathering a Talented Elite. This wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. Firstly, let me congratulate this Isekai for breaking the record of speedrunning childhood in just 2 chapters. Extraordinary performance. Now, the story. The main character collapses from overwork under the pressure working for a shady company with the worst working conditions. Which is kinda irony because the creator of this manga was probably overworked to meet the deadlines. Anyway, he gets reborn as a son of a feudal lord, and if you want to know more about the beginnings, then fuck you. This ain't happening in the story. This is where the manga is kinda falling down, because as it goes on, the story is more or less entertaining and quite unique, which is just sad that they didn't develop the childhood and the town before the disaster a little more, to make me care about the main character and his actions even more. Instead, here, have 2 chapters of childhood and exposition of the disaster. Yes. I love learning about the world and characters via exposition and dialogues. Wow. Thank you. What are you, fucking Jujutsu shit-san? Anyway, many years have passed and the main character is now trying to resurrect the town into its former glory. But first he needs people to help with that. So he posts job offer in the capital with surprisingly good conditions, and thanks to that he will get many people to work for him and trust him. I think you can see where this is going. I can summarize this Isekai by saying that this is just slice of life, rebuilding town. As I said, it's not bad and it has some interesting ideas. Sometimes it can hook the readers, but sometimes it can be kinda boring, and that's where the world is coming to the scene. There are just no conflicts between the town people and everything is resolved with peace and talk no jutsu. No one gets hurt and everyone is so friendly with each other. It's just a very simple story in an idealistic world. Normally, I wouldn't care about this kind of stuff and just make fun of this manga to oblivion, but I really felt the potential in this one. Maybe it will get better with the recent chapters, but I don't think so. It had potential, calm story, speedrun world record holder. 6.5 out of 10. And that's the end of the video. I'm thinking of making a series out of this, because I'm having just so much fun making this. So if you have any isekais in mind, feel free to recommend them to me. And also if you have any ideas for a name for this series, again, feel free to write them in the comments. Anyway, thanks so much for watching and have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Goodbye.